Okay, in my last video I discussed consistency and variety and how the two can and should coexist within a training program. Now, since I filmed that video, I've had a few questions come in through email. And one of those questions in particular stood out to me as it's something that I've seen before and it's something that's based on a false assumption. So I believe a brief discussion is warranted just in case there are others making the same mistake. So anyways, this individual basically wrote to me and said, look, when I'm consistent with an exercise or program, I find that I don't experience any soreness. So as a result, I mix things up every week or two to ensure soreness. So this individual is basically using soreness as a goal. Soreness serves as the measuring stick to determine whether or not a workout was beneficial. If he's not sore, he feels that he didn't work hard enough or he didn't perform enough work. And that's a huge mistake. Speaking first as a coach, one of the last things that I want is a group of athletes coming here to train who are constantly sore. Because if you're constantly sore, oftentimes what that means is yesterday's work is interfering with today's training. So as I'm trying to teach you something, show you something, yesterday's work is hampering your ability to practice and apply what I'm showing you. That's a problem, especially when it starts to happen on a regular basis. So I don't want my guys constantly sore. Doesn't mean you're not going to be sore on occasion. Doesn't mean we should avoid soreness like the plague. But let's not make soreness out to be more than it is. It doesn't tell us much of anything. I always tell my athletes, look, when you go out and compete, perform, no one cares how you feel. You aren't going to be judged or evaluated based on how you feel. You will be evaluated based on how you perform. So let's apply that mentality to our training. I don't care if you're sore. I care what you can do. Soreness isn't a sign of progress. If we want to track progress, let's track something that can be quantified over time. Are you lifting more weight, performing more reps, running faster, jumping higher? Let's have real data that we can analyze. For example, let's look at a 2-month block of time. Can we see legitimate signs of improvement? As opposed to graphing 2 months of how you feel. Could you imagine a soreness graph? Kind of sore, real sore, not sore. You look at 2 months of that data. It doesn't tell you anything. How you feel doesn't paint the full picture. It doesn't necessarily mean that you performed a better workout just because you are sore. And I'll give you an example. Suppose I've got 2 athletes training at the gym. Now, one guy, he's been consistent, coming every day, busting his ass. His friend, on the other hand, has been slacking. He hasn't been around for the last couple weeks. But these 2 guys, they link up, they decide they're going to come train today. So they work through a series of exercises. Let's say they finish with rollouts using an ab wheel. They knock off a few sets, they finish up, they go home. Now the individual who's been consistent, he wakes up the next morning, feels fine. Just another day of work, he's ready to go. His friend, though, wakes up feeling like someone beat him in the midsection with a sledgehammer. He's hoping that he doesn't cough, sneeze, or laugh all day. He's experiencing extreme soreness. Now, does that mean that his workout was in some way more beneficial to him than it was his friend who doesn't feel much of anything? Of course not. All that it means was that he performed something that he hadn't done in a while. If you want to experience extreme soreness, work with an exercise you haven't done in a while and rack up a lot of volume. That's how you get extremely sore. Does it mean that that work has made you better? Maybe, maybe not. But again, we can't read too much into the soreness. Doesn't tell the full story. Furthermore, as you become stronger, more experienced, guess what? you aren't going to feel the soreness that you felt as a beginner. To me, that's a plus. You've been around. There's not a whole lot you haven't seen or done. You can handle more work, more intense work. Again, that's a plus. When I think of my own training, I work hard to build physical attributes that I can use. Strength, endurance. I don't want to wake up every day unable to move because I'm suffering from extreme soreness. It would be like having a fancy sports car in the garage with no gas in it. You can't actually use it. I don't want that. I work too hard to build these physical attributes, so I want to feel good throughout the day, healthy and vibrant and active, able to use and apply the attributes that I worked so hard to achieve. So again, soreness isn't a goal. It's not a sign of progress. Sure, you're going to be sore from time to time, but don't actively try to become sore. Instead, focus on improving. So in summary, if you have any questions about this or anything else, as always, shoot me an email at ross@rosstraining.com.